Hi, this is a quick review of Majestouch Minila Air, which is a minimum layout 67 key wireless Bluetooth, in fact, mechanical keyboard. I purchased this keyboard I think in 2015, so that's 7 years ago. In fact, I purchased it a bit early in 2015, so it's more than over 7 years in service, and I think it has really good build quality, and it still serves very well. I apologize if the keyboard is a little bit dirty, and I've cleaned it a couple of times during the years, throughout the years, but certainly not doing it every month. So that is one of the slight issues with keyboards like this, because these are classic keyboards, mechanical keyboards, and there are valleys down there that requires you to remove the keycaps in order to really reach out and clean, and especially if you eat in front of the keyboard, especially if you eat some snacks, nuts in front of the keyboard. That's where you get all kinds of food residues in there. But for me, it's fine. If you care about hygiene, well, this is something that you need to take into consideration of. But anyway, about this keyboard, I purchased this one in particular because there are several features that I really like about this keyboard. First, it's a minimal layout keyboard, so it's like it's more than just a 10-key list. It also doesn't have these the page up, page down, the insert, delete, etc. Those keys are mirrored here with FN key, which there are two, and this keyboard also has a full arrow key setup, which is rare. I see a lot of keyboards, small minimal layout keyboards like this that don't have dedicated arrow keys. They will have probably a bigger right shift key, but once you get used to this one, it's just fine, because this is the placement of this right shift key is exactly where I would actually place my finger on when I use the shift. So that's just fine. I think, I don't quite remember precisely, but I think I paid something like 240 British pounds in 2015, and that's a lot of money. And I see that this keyboard, or a modern variant of it, is now for sale for just over $100 in a lot of places, and that's a big change. But at that point, the reason I purchased this one from Britain, from I think the keyboard company, which, you know, when I open the box, I will show you some other things. One of the memorabilias that they gave us, they gave the buyers, they gave me. I purchased from them because I wanted a US 67 key keyboard. Basically, with European layout, you will have not just a small right shift, but also a small left shift to accommodate for that extra key here. And also the enter would have to be a little bit different. So there will be, it will be this L-shaped enter key, which I don't like. And particularly, this also links to a advantage of this Minila Air keyboard, which is that there are a couple of these deep switches that you can use to change, I hope that the camera is able to pick up the details here. You can pause and read. Basically, there are several options that you can use to switch how the definition of these keys, and part of it is to switch the backspace with this / key, and I activated this one because otherwise the I think the backspace is a little bit too far away, and by using the backspace here and the / there, I think this gives really a very comfortable way to feel to this keyboard. There is this add key, which is is Windows specific. This key, because you see with the arrow key here, there is only a single control key, and I think control is more important than the add key, which I never use. So I used a macro that you can download to basically mirror this key to a control. So now you will again have two control keys, two alt keys, one Windows key, which is useful, and otherwise it is pretty standard. I find the keys to be of decent quality. I think there is maybe minimal wear here on the ASD keys, but otherwise I think even though it's printed on, these the lettering is printed on, the labels are printed on, they are fine. I think let me see if I can remove a key for you to see. This uses maybe let's open the box and take out the tools first. So this is the box that it came with, right? Let me zoom out a little bit here so you can see. Yeah, this is the box, and in the back is it writes. There is a lot of Japanese written, even though this is made in Taiwan, right? So let's open this one up. Inside the box, there is this. What is this? This is called the cup. Whatever the cup or whatever to put a cup on. This thing is from the keyboard company where I bought this mechanical keyboard from. I think their service was a little bit mediocre. I will explain in just a bit. There is a menu, a couple of receipts. Let's not talk about my details there. This is a cover that came with this keyboard, and it's quite useful because when you need to transport the keyboard, you can put it here like this, and it provides protection to the keys. And also inside here there are some accessories, very minimal accessories, but quite useful. These are some of the replacement keys, and they are not really replacement keys. They're just keys that serve different functions. For example, I have here. Let me zoom in here. I have here the backspace and the / reversed, but you could have them in the standard order using these two caps. And I think when it came in the box, they were like this, but I replaced them and I used the DIN switch. And there's also a possibility. You see here I have the escape as the main key, and you need to use the function combo to access the tune and I think it's called apostrophe keys, but of course it's possible to have them in reverse. And there is this caps lock and control key. For some reason I think these two can be switched. I don't understand why anyone would do that, but the option is here. And I think let's just remove one of the keys using this tool puller. As you can see, this is a bronze switch, Cherry MX mechanical switch, and yeah, I think there are also other switch options. I chose this one because it's clicky but not so clicky. It's not very linear, so it seems to be the best for typing. So that's why I chose this one. A problem that I had when I first received this keyboard was that the spacebar would often double click. You press it once, but 2 clicks were registered, and that was really annoying. And I had to send it back to the keyboard company, to these guys. Had to send it back to these guys for warranty repair, and they weren't very cooperative. They basically were saying that, "Are you stupid?" Basically, that's essentially what they were saying. I have to post on forums. That's when they were accepted for me to, to send it back. And they realized that there were some QC problems, that the switch was not fully soldered on, and there was they fixed it. So that was the experience. Of course, that was not a very good experience, especially since I paid so much for a keyboard. That's whatever it is. The keyboard uses 2 AA batteries, and I use rechargeable ones in there. But if you use rechargeable battery, probably it lasts 3 to 4 months. If you use this alkaline batteries, they probably last 6 to 8 months between changes. So it's really a battery saver. It's very good, very good typing feel, right? So it's a very good keyboard. One downside that someone needs to really keep into consideration, keep in their mind, is that this is a Bluetooth keyboard, and one of the main reasons I purchased this one was because it's Bluetooth, so that I don't need a separate dongle, and I don't want to have so many different dongles for everything. That's why I got this one. But then I realized when I started using it with my desktop computer that you need a separate keyboard to access the BIOS, because and anytime you use some before you load the Bluetooth driver, before the Bluetooth driver is loaded, the keyboard is useless. So I have to purchase another cheap keyboard just to access BIOS and do other configurations. That's also one thing you need to take into consideration. Do I recommend people to still buy this keyboard? For 100 or a little bit above, yes, I still think this is a good keyboard because of its very solid build quality despite the initial QC problems. For its very good typing feel, it's very solid. There is solid steel. I don't know if it's steel or stainless steel, but there is a steel backplate, so it's not just a board. This one is quite heavy. It's a steel backboard inside, it's very durable, and for its very minimal size. If you use it with a laptop, this is perfect. If you are using, if you have a desktop computer, then you need to take into consideration how you are going to access the BIOS. You probably need something else, and I would then at that point recommend the purchase of something that is slightly different. Maybe not this one, maybe slightly bigger. I think the these arrow keys are quite important. The 10 numeric keypad, I really don't like them. I don't think it's necessary to have numeric keypad. I don't use numeric keypad. I know a lot of laptops even today come with numeric keypad. I don't use them, and I find them to be unnecessary clutter on the desktop. Anyway, so that is my overview of of the Filco Minila Air minimum layout keyboard. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.